Stop whatever you're doing, because this isn't just another celebrity breakup story. This is the kind of revelation that shocks Hollywood and leaves fans feeling completely shaken. After months of rumors, cryptic posts, and awkward silence, Aaron Pierre has finally spoken out. What he revealed about his breakup with Teyana Taylor has sent the internet into a frenzy. This wasn't the neat, respectful split the tabloids tried to sell. This wasn't just busy schedules or mutual understanding. No, this was emotional chaos, hidden truths, and a reality far more complicated than anyone imagined. Here's the shocking part. The breakup didn't happen openly. It was silent, almost invisible to the outside world. Conversations stopped abruptly, messages went unanswered, and behind the scenes, insiders say there are receipts showing a completely different story from what fans were told. There were leaked voice notes and private messages, moments that revealed cracks in their relationship long before the public saw a thing. Once the truth started leaking, social media picked up on it before the headlines ever did. The subtle signs were there. Unfollows, deleted likes, missing comments. The tension was palpable even without a single public statement. Aaron's hints about what really happened are changing the narrative entirely. This wasn't just a breakup. It was a collision of ambition, pride, heartbreak, and resentment. One that leaves lasting scars. So pay attention, because once this story is out, there's no going back. The end of their relationship didn't start with an official announcement. It started with silence. A loud, unsettling silence that everyone noticed. For weeks, insiders sensed something was off between Aaron and Teyana, but no one dared speak up. Publicly, they still seemed together, but privately, their connection had already begun to break. Friends described the changes as small but significant. Texts that once took minutes to respond to now took hours. Calls went unanswered. Plans were postponed repeatedly until they were quietly abandoned. Both of them recognized what was happening, but neither wanted to admit it first. According to someone who claims to have witnessed late-night conversations between them, the first cracks were subtle. Aaron, at the height of his career and juggling international commitments, began expressing concerns that sounded reasonable but carried deeper frustration. He wasn't blaming her. He was asking questions. Why did it feel like he had to fight for her time? Why did moments together always feel rushed? And why did it feel like they were living in separate worlds despite being close physically? Teyana, meanwhile, was in survival mode. She felt overwhelmed by the pressure from fans, studios, and an industry that doesn't let women rest once success hits. Aaron's questions, though understandable, felt like extra weight on her already overloaded shoulders. She wasn't uncaring, but she was exhausted, and that exhaustion created a gap in communication. One felt neglected, the other felt accused, and neither truly understood the other. Eventually, messages began circulating among insiders. They weren't scandalous but emotionally heavy. One supposedly from Aaron asked if love was supposed to feel like constant waiting. Another from Teyana said she was doing her best, but didn't understand why it was never enough. These messages revealed a relationship struggling with honesty at the wrong time, where emotions became weapons instead of bridges. The turning point came at a private gathering meant to be casual. Friends, food, no cameras, no industry pressure. Instead, it became the night everything spilled out. The tension was obvious from the moment anyone arrived. Smiles were forced, physical contact minimal, the distance between them almost deliberate. When the conversation turned to future plans, it exploded. Not with yelling, but with sharp, quiet words that hurt more than shouts ever could. Aaron admitted he felt erased from her life, always adjusting and waiting. Teyana countered that no matter what she gave, it never met his expectations. That moment reframed their connection not as two people versus the world, but as two people on opposite sides of the same dream. After that night, the emotional tone shifted completely. They didn't officially break up immediately, but something vital died. There were attempts to fix it, apologies, whispered reassurances, but every effort felt heavier, like patching cracks in already shattered glass. Fans continued posting edits, hoping the couple was fine, unaware they were watching a slow collapse. Social media noticed small changes before the public ever did. Likes disappeared, comments vanished, milestones went unacknowledged. Then came the rumored voice note, a short clip never confirmed, yet whispered about constantly. Aaron's voice sounded controlled but exhausted, admitting he couldn't keep pretending everything was fine. Teyana's silence in response said more than any argument could, marking the point of no return. When the breakup finally became public, the official story was clean, almost sterile. A mutual, respectful split with no drama. But behind the scenes, this breakup had been unfolding for months, one emotional conversation at a time. The emotional aftermath was intense. Aaron didn't quietly move on. He unraveled privately, moving between acceptance and regret. Teyana kept busy with public events, studio sessions, and appearances looking flawless. Yet those closest to her say the breakup affected her more than anyone realized. Once work ended and quiet returned, the question started. Had she taken him for granted? Had she assumed he would always understand? Why did the silence feel so loud? Private messages circulated after the breakup, emotional check-ins, not reconciliation attempts. One said, "I don't know how to stop missing you without losing myself." Another answered, "Missing me doesn't mean we were meant to last." A FaceTime call, unplanned and raw, exposed their emotional reality. Aaron questioned why he always had to adapt while she moved forward. Teyana expressed exhaustion from being made to feel guilty for pursuing her dreams. Neither shouted, but the grief was unbearable. They finally accepted they couldn't fix what timing had destroyed, leaving no villains, no closure, just a profound sense of loss. This was not just a celebrity breakup. It was a story of two people who once shared a dream, slowly pulled apart by ambition, timing, and unspoken emotional needs. And when it ended publicly, the real heartbreak had only just begun. The messages slowed down, the tone grew colder, and both of them started building walls around themselves. But in Hollywood, heartbreak rarely stays quiet. Fans quickly noticed the changes and began speculating. Every interview was examined, every comment twisted, and even vague remarks were treated like secret messages. One viral clip showed Aaron hesitating when asked about balancing love and work. That brief pause became a symbol. Social media erupted with theories. Celebrities reacted subtly but noticeably. Friends stopped mentioning them publicly. A well-known insider even warned Aaron to be careful with his words because the story was bigger than anyone realized. Shortly after, sources say Aaron recorded a private conversation meant only for a close friend. In it, he allegedly opened up about feeling sidelined emotionally, about shrinking his own needs to keep the relationship alive, and realizing too late that love without real presence is still loneliness. The recording never surfaced officially, but rumors about it spread rapidly, fueling fan debates and conspiracy theories. People demanded honesty, accused him of playing the victim, or claimed Teyana had emotionally checked out long before the split. Others defended her, pointing out the impossible pressure women face in the industry. The situation escalated so quickly that even neutral observers felt uneasy. This was no longer just gossip, it was two real people being dissected publicly. Behind the scenes, damage control kicked in. Publicists advised silence, drafted statements, and canceled interviews. The goal was to calm the chaos. But emotions don't follow PR plans. When Aaron reportedly admitted he felt erased in plain sight during the relationship, the phrase leaked, sparking another wave of speculation. Fans treated it like evidence of neglect, imbalance, and proof that the breakup wasn't as mutual as the public was told. Teyana, meanwhile, reportedly felt blindsided by how quickly the narrative was turning against her. She never intended for the breakup to become a judgment on her ambition or emotional capacity. The relationship had been meaningful, but their timing didn't align. Perception became brutal. Every silence was interpreted as guilt. Every confident post became proof she didn't care. According to friends, she had loved deeply but privately, and now that privacy was being used against her. The breaking point came with one final message, reportedly from Teyana. Short, definitive, and heartbreaking, it set a clear boundary. She said she needed space, not only to heal, but to protect herself from a story she no longer recognized. For Aaron, that message confirmed his greatest fear. The distance between them had become permanent. From that moment, the breakup wasn't something they shared. It became something they survived separately. Aaron reportedly withdrew, focusing on his own life, while Teyana concentrated on work, appearances, and projects. Fans thought the storm had passed, but sources claim one piece of the story remained untold. Not a scandal, not a betrayal, but a deeply emotional truth Aaron kept private out of fear. Once revealed, it could change the entire narrative. The silence surrounding it wasn't calm, it was restraint. Months after the split, Aaron made a low-key public statement that sent waves through fans. Asked about lessons learned from love, he said, "Sometimes protecting someone you care about means letting the world misunderstand you." That one sentence carried so much weight. Was he protecting Teyana, or shielding himself from revealing too much? No one knew, but everyone felt its impact. Behind closed doors, insiders claim there was one final conversation between them, quiet but necessary, where they agreed that their shared story would remain in the past. Yet, even that couldn't erase the unresolved tension. Some truths don't disappear just because people choose silence. Now, according to multiple sources, one final piece of this saga could surface at any moment. Not for revenge, but for closure. When that happens, it will be raw, emotional, and impossible to ignore. This breakup was never simple. It was a collision of timing, ambition, emotional need, and personal identity. A relationship that burned brightly and collapsed quietly, leaving questions far louder than any public statement. The story isn't over, it's waiting. And when the final truth comes out, it will change everything, reigniting curiosity, debate, and fascination all over again.